Cool.
Fucking
Oh.
massive engines.
Massive engines.
Engines that are so massive that, yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, so, I mean, there's also the bridge as well. You've had a good look at the
Mhm.
bridge then. 4 people in it. We
Uh-huh.
know that was released. We talked about that on stream. So, yeah, it's different from, say, your Anaconda Bridge and T9 Bridge specifically, isn't it? It's more. Would you say it's more militaristic in look?
I I I think the way that the way that Frontier describe it as like a bridge as opposed to
Cockpit?
as
Cockpit.
opposed to a cockpit, I think that's really apt. I don't know so much as militaristic. I just think obviously I just think everything looks real big.
Yeah,
Mm.
You know
everything
what I
reach
mean?
size. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm. Now we know that it actually there was a lot of concern about whether or not it would actually fit through the docking slot. We know it does,
Hmm.
uh, just,
Yeah.
and I'm quite happy about this. It doesn't look like you can lower the landing gear until you're inside the station.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've kept that the same as the previous versions. So I'm quite happy with
From
that.
from the very brief conversation that we had with Zach,
Mm.
before he had to rush off and take calls and do all of those kind of things, and be busy doing his work rather than entertaining a couple of idiots. We He said it might. I'm trying to think of the best way to interpret what he said. That its downside will be that it will be tricky to fly. I think is probably the best way.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
best way to
I think
describe
we
it.
would all expect it to be
Yeah, I
sluggish.
hope so. Yeah, I hope sluggish, and I hope it has more drift than the cutter. That's
Yes.
my personal dream is that I'm gonna feel like it needs to feel heavy, and I know that's ridiculous in
No,
no
no.
atmosphere, but I want it to feel heavy.
Oh, ships
The
do. And yeah, they can pull that
Yeah,
off. Ships definitely feel like they have a weight.
yeah, and I think the game Star Trucker does a really good job of making you feel like you're flying a real huge ship.
Mhm.
So hopefully,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
when flying the T9 and the T10, you certainly feel as if you're
Yeah.
flying a big brick that's, it's not meant to turn fast.
Mm, yeah.
So as far as armaments on this thing, is useless putting anything either gimbaled or fixed on it. It's got to be turrets. That's the only thing you'll hit with.
Yeah, that's quite funny. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, if that thing's got a turning circle of say half an orbit, then yeah.
I'm so excited about that possibly being a thing, though, you know?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping I'm with you guys. I'm hoping that this thing is basically a brick to fly,
Uh-huh.
but it's heavily armored and heavily shielded, so at least it can carry its like in the old game, it could carry its cargo with um, well, you'd have to be turning up in a pretty meaty bounty hunting ship or killing ship in order to damage it. And that was one of the things about the old game where it didn't really need an escort because it was that tough that smaller ships just bounced off it. So
I'm really looking forward to flying it, and it is really good timing because I do still have a lot of colonizing that I want to do, and I am really bored of flying the cutter. I had a conversation in our Discord, I think, earlier in the week with Pete, but about ships don't how ships don't necessarily have to be agile to be fun to fly.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy flying the Type 8, and it's partly the view from the cockpit. I love that I can look to my right and I see every time I take off from a planet where I've just collected stuff from, I can see the gear coming up, and then I've also got the ship kit that's got some flappy bits at the side, and
Mm.
when I escape atmosphere, those kind of realign themselves. I just really enjoy taking off and landing in it. It's just fun.
One of the
Whereas
things
The
One of the
cutting
things,
I find really boring. Sorry.
yeah, sorry. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to with the Panther 2 is having a full player crew on board, because I want to see how that thing handles the full crew.
Mm.
Especially you got a gunner, two fighters. Yeah, turn it into a battle bus and see how it goes. Because I had a lot of fun with the T10 crewed out with everybody because we found out it worked. So yeah. Uh, so Frontier Unlocked happened as well, which was basically showing off the Panther Clipper. But they didn't talk about anything else apart from the new ship. And to say
Yeah.
the truth, that ship was big enough; it didn't need anything else to talk about. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice build up to it by sort of covering, all
Yeah.
the other
I
ships.
think I think I think we're getting Vanguard I think we'll probably get Vanguard information
yeah,
next on the next show. I think. Call that insider information, maybe, but I think that's the case. I'm trying to think what was said. I can't remember. I was still looking at pictures of the Panther Clipper. I'm not gonna lie. Anything that was said was like I was distracted. I
yeah.
was distracted by the arse on that.
I'm really looking forward. Just one other thing with the Panther Clipper, I'm really looking forward to seeing that the whole sort of engine and landing gear animation, because
Mm.
it's
Oh
quite a
yeah,
it's quite a complex little hinging mechanism where the engines come down and the landing gear comes down the other side. I can't wait to see that unfold.
yeah. And
So cool.
it's considering what they've managed to do with the Type 8 so far. The moving of the engines and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I thought, oh, this is going to be good. They're certainly excelling at putting these things in. It's
And the
come a
bits
long
of the
way.
ship kit, the fact that bits of the type, because I've got the aero ship kit on the Type 8, it's really cool the way that
Mm,
animates with it as well.
yeah, it's come a long way since the flappy little wings.
Yeah,
Oh,
it sure
oh,
has.
but still, bless them, bless those little flappy wings.
Yeah. So the final question about what we've seen of the Panther Clipper so far: will you be getting one?
Hell yes, yeah, definitely. Even if I mean, just for the screenshots, I really want to. I can't remember what sort of type of settlement it is, but I have a screenshot of a, what would it be? I think it's a Corvette
Mhm.
landed on a large pad next to a really not very big settlement, and the Corvette is bigger than the settlement.
Hmm.
So I can't wait. I can't wait to do the same with
We're gonna
this.
be putting Odyssey settlements in full shadow by moving over them. I am in no disillusions about that. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna
And
be
I,
a
yeah,
pain in the ass to fly. Landing it manually is going to be a dick, but it will be brilliant, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see the first high G landing in a Panther Clipper.
yeah. I've already had two special requests to drop it down the side of a crater, so I should probably do that.
You could drop it on. It's be bigger than half of the settlements. You could just splat one of the settlements totally. Right. Okay. So I think it's thumbs up from what we've seen in the Panther Clipper. I know I will be buying one probably for my power play commander. So yes, looking forward to that one. And from what they've said, it's coming out with the Vanguard's update. So it's going to be
Mhm.
a bigger update than we thought. So I'm going to hand over to Alec now to do the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game in it, mate.
Cool. Community news. Got loads. Got loads again. Community. This community is fantastic. Have I said that before? First up, there's a really nice blog by Nicey, called "Just About 8 Months On," and it's kind of a little review, a little look back at justabout.com, kind of touching on our early healthy skepticism. The old adage about what is it? If you're not paying for something, then you're the product. I think nicely mentions. But just sort of saying on the whole that yeah, just about has been really good. I think we've all made some coin from it, and actually it has promoted. I spoke to Arthur about it at PitCon actually, because I wanted to clarify that yes, Frontier do indeed pay them the money that then comes back. And Arthur was amused by the fact that I just pump it into ARCs, so it's this lovely cycle. But yeah, it's been good, and there's been some great content that's come out of it, and it does encourage content, and because that content is posted on other social media as well, even if people aren't flooding to justabout.com to read the content, it's still out there in other forms on X and Blue Sky and YouTube. So yeah, it's good. Speaking of blogs, we also have a fantastic new blog from Homburger, who this one's called "Lurking in the Lagrange," and it's a really nice, lengthy exploration blog with loads of fantastic photography. Homburger has sort of been dotting around Colonia and the galactic core, and kind of got into the notable stellar phenomena and the Lagrange clouds around them, and just found the most glorious rainbow of colours. In fact, there's like a sort of thumbnail banner for this blog, and it's just the most gorgeous rainbow of like little clips of screenshots from different Lagrange clouds in bright purples and yellows and oranges and reds and blues, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. And lots of really nice writing to go with it. So quite a long blog, this one, but it's a really good read, especially if you're into your exploration. Right. Next up is a video from TK Games called. I think this was from a couple of weeks back, but we had quite a lot last week, so I skipped a few things, but they were still in my watch later list and thought they were worth featuring. This is called Elite Dangerous: What No One Tells You. The description. Now I might have missed. Let me do. So the description says Elite Dangerous is massive, immersive, and absolutely overwhelming at first. I went in expecting a space epic and nearly bounced off completely. But one moment changed everything. In this video, I'll share the frustrations, the turning point, and the one thing I wish I'd known before launching into deep space. Whether you're new or on the fence, this might save your entire experience. Now, it's one of these videos where I feel like the description does it a bit of a disservice, because I went back and sort of watched this today, admittedly at 2x speed, and I'm not convinced that there is a moment. That I didn't spot. I'm not quite sure what the thing is that he refers to in the description, the moment that changed everything. I'm not entirely sure what that was, or what the one thing she'd known when launching into deep space. But it's a great video, nevertheless, about a new player giving their impressions of Elite Dangerous, and how they were initially a bit put off by the kind of lack of direction, shall we say, but also kind of falling in love with that and the open world nature of it, and getting into using third-party tools and things to help with his gameplay. Yeah, it's a good watch. It sort of leaves you feeling like you're playing a fantastic game. It's always nice to see people sort of turning around and going, actually, this game's fantastic, and lots of new enthusiasm. Next up is another video by Mile13 Gaming. So he hasn't made one of these sort of comedy. He's been doing some fantastic tutorials, but he hasn't made one of his very funny comedic videos for a while. So people might remember the sort of engineers videos that Mile13 Gaming did, where the guy goes to speak to the engineers and is like incredulous about the stupid things they're being asked to do. So this is sort of revisiting that theme and going to visit the colonization contact, and then being told what's required. It's really funny. I just recommend giving it a watch. I found it extremely funny. Next up is another video by Boku Fish. So again, we're returning to something we've done once before. Boku Fish, I think, possibly even last year, many months ago, certainly. People may remember their incredible shot-for-shot recreation of the Apocalypse Now sequence in Elite Dangerous. I mean, down to the most infinitesimal detail. So they've done another one. I confess it's a film and indeed a sequence I don't know, but they've done a shot-for-shot reconstruction of what they describe as the green smoke sequence from The Rock, 1996. Um, whether you're familiar with The Rock and the green smoke sequence or not, it is a terrific video. And as with the Apocalypse Now one, there's also a sort of split screen side by side, so you can compare his Elite Dangerous footage with the original from the film. It's it's quite a piece of work. It really is. Yes, as Elvis Clemens says, Alcatraz, Sean Connery, and Nick Cage. I kind of got that, but I haven't seen the film. But it's really good. I really recommend this. Still on videos. The next one is also terrific. It's called "It's Still Active: The Silent Choir" by Commie Coots. There's a couple of videos by Commie Coots actually. I decided just to pick one. So the description on that is: Commander RG stumbles upon something long believed to be lost, the remains of a forgotten race. Ancient ruins, untouched for millennia, hide a mysterious message buried in stone. The Guardians left behind more than just artifacts. They left a warning. And it's really good. It's really, really good. It's Elite Dangerous in-game footage, just kind of a commander going to a Guardian site for the first time, basically, and exploring it. But it's beautifully put together and really atmospheric. And there's like dialogue over the top of the commander's thoughts as they explore this Guardian ruins for the first time. Makes me want to go back and see the Guardian ruins again. It's really good, really atmospheric stuff. Probably going to subscribe to Comicots and see what else they come out with. Right. Last video of the evening. I've saved this till last. This is my absolute favorite. If people watch one video that I've recommended this week, or indeed in the past few weeks, I go and watch this one. It's called "Can a New Generation Love Elite Dangerous" by Spacefaring Chronicles. And the description is basically, what does Elite Dangerous Odyssey feel like to a brand new 12-year-old commander? In this special interview, I introduce my son to Elite and capture his first impressions from inside a station bar. And it's beautiful. I love it so much. He's sort of calmly and sensibly interviewing his son, but there's such a great sort of rapport going on. The son's like, "'Cause you made me play it," and and there's all sorts. Yeah, it's really funny, but it's also such a beautiful sort of positive thing. I want to hear more from Spacefaring Chronicles' 12-year-old son now, because I really enjoyed listening to his thoughts on Elite. It's a real fresh perspective. Oh, it's in chat. Lovely. More, please. I really, really enjoyed this. It was terrific. Right, final section of Community Corner is we've covered the elite races and their Titan Cup. So these are sort of race events every 3 weeks. This is the final weekend. So this coming Saturday, 10th of May at 1700 UTC. So we've kind of gone with daylight saving. So 6 p.m. UK time. And it's going to be another pair of races. So there's going to be some SRV racing and some ship racing, both at a Thargoid Spire site. I haven't practiced this yet, but these courses look fantastic. So the SRV course basically goes around all the, I think people tended to call them Thargodas, but the things that look like pagodas, or that you can. So those are the gates. So you drive sort of around a whole circuit of those for the SRV course, which looks really fun. And then the ship course is flipping insane. I think you're definitely going to want a small ship for this, but it's like looping around the 3 main spires using the landing platforms as kind of gates to go over and under, and sort of slaloming around them, and then also flying through some of those sort of little Thargoda structures. So definitely small ships, but it looks like a really fun course. I can't wait to practice it when I've done some mining. So that's this Saturday at 6 p.m. UK time, and we'll include. I realise I haven't got a link. I'll find a link for us to include in the show notes.
Thanks, Alec. Appreciate
Ex-
it.
Excellent. So, yeah, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like to talk about it over the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. But we don't really have to do that because we'll just let Alec hunt it all down.
Or do it, make Alec's life easier, you know.
Whatever. Either way, I'll find you if you haven't got anything.
Just incidentally, you know, on Just About, or Just as it's called, the Elite Dangerous section has now got a new, in partnership with Frontier, label right on the heading. So
Interesting.
it's they're not. They said, "All right, okay, that's where the money's coming from." So
maybe that's a direct result of your conversation, Alec.
Maybe Arthur wanted it to be clearer.
Yeah.
That's where it's coming from. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, interesting.
yeah. So the in-game events. What has been happening this week? Well, last week on Thursday, the 1st of May, the CG, the community goal, kicked off. It's a competitive mining rush, which has been sparked by the primary factions of LP 855-34, calling for platinum to support several construction projects. These forces are working on the behalf of Felicia Winters and Yuri Grom. And yes, let's have a look. Grom is currently at tier 2 and Winters is currently at tier 4. And this community goal will carry on until a week on Thursday, or until someone finishes it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Very quick question.
Yes.
Oh no, having said that, it looks like Winters might finish.
Yep, that's
According to the thing.
that's what I'm looking at now.
Very, very quick question though about this. I have heard. I've not done anything. I've not done anything because I've been busy, you know.
Being sociable
actually getting a tan. I've got a bloody watch line. First time for about 6 years. But actual question about this. Is there I've seen people saying that you can't sign up for both.
That's right.
Is
That's
that
what
right?
it says.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with that because that's one of the problems I've always had with some community goals where they've said, right, you've got 2 goals, they're obviously competing, but you can still sign up for both.
Yeah.
But this one, they've actually got it. If you've already signed up as Winters, like I have, I thought, all right, I just signed up for Grom now. It actually gave me a message saying, you can't do that. You've signed up for Winters.
That's cool. That's got to be something new, though.
It has to be.
The only downside I would say is, am I right in thinking that the final rewards that you get still scale with whatever tier gets hit?
Possibly.
I assume that's the case. Because I confess what I did, because I had no particular allegiance to either of these people, is I just picked the one that had got the highest tier because I assumed that one would therefore pay out more at the end.
Probably.
Yes.
And I assume a lot of people will do that. And obviously, once that starts happening, that just gets more and more exaggerated.
Well, not necessarily, because the main reward you get, you just need to make one run.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. But there's a money reward, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's a money reward. Obviously, the higher up the tiers go, the more the prize fund raises. So at the moment, if you manage to get a tier, say you're mid-tier in Grom at the moment, and opposed to someone who's mid-tier with Winters is going to end up with a lot people who are mid-tier with Winters are going to end up with a heck of a lot of money than where you were the Grom, and that's just the way it's broken. But
and obviously that amplifies the more that difference, the bigger that difference gets, the more people are going to sign up to the Winters one because that's the one
that's the thing. I think when you do these competitive CGs, I mean, I remember there was one which was before where you could sign up for the Empire or the Federation. You couldn't sign up for both. I'm sure that happened before, and the thing was I think the federal one was a bounty hunting one, and the imperial one was a trading, which kind of plays to each other's strength. But everyone went for the bounty hunting one because obviously we like ships that go boom, as opposed to we like taking cargo canisters. And yeah, so I do like what they've done here. I'm surprised there's not a bounty hunting thing to go with it, but I'm not complaining about what they're doing so far. But yeah, it was a pleasant surprise to see. Choose one or the other. You can't have both.
That's very cool. I like that. I like that an awful lot.
I haven't
Yeah.
been yet, by the way, but I've been hearing a lot of people saying that the 2 mega ships where you deliver stuff are hard to find, and that they're round the first planet or something, and if you get close, they'll pop into
Yeah.
nav panels.
I had that problem. I was looking for where they were,
Yeah,
and yeah, I had to get within 5 light seconds of the planet before bing, they suddenly appeared. It's just a case of approach planet 1 in that system, and once you get within 5 light seconds, the 2 megaships will appear, and they stay appeared after that point. So it's
Right.
just them the first time. So right, I guess it's time for the power play rankings. In 12th, we have the Spider Queen Torval herself. She has actually gained 5 systems this week, bringing her total up to 479. We have in 11th place Winters, who's gained 8 systems this week, up to 534. Denton Petraeus has had a shockingly bad week. He's lost 12 systems and is now down to 623. He doesn't seem popular at all. Delaney still stays at 9. He's gained 3 systems at 643. Kane has gained 12 systems. She's up to 675. And Antal remains in 7th place but gains 8 systems up to 731. Archer continues climbing another 4 systems here to 770, and then we have Lee Yong-ru, who's gained 16 systems up to 876. In 4th, Grom has gained 4 systems, bringing his total up to 1045. Emperor Risser's in 3rd place. She has 8 new systems, bringing her total up to 1374. Then we have the Blue Princess on number 2, Aisling. She has gained an astonishing 30 systems in 1 week. Yeah, she's up to 1,466 systems, only 11 behind Mahon, who is now still leading, but only just. He's up at 1,477, having gained 16 systems. So, that is your power play standings for this week.
Wow.
It would be really interesting to know how many of these gained systems are player colonized, wouldn't it?
Oh, there'll be a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
many.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Plus, also, this is the first week where patch 3 has actually had an effect on power play. The whole upshot of this is that what patch 3 has done is that it means that if you're attacking, basically undermining another system, or basically trying to acquire another system, you get bonuses. And if you're defending, you get such a negative effect. You have to work almost 1.5 times harder than the people attacking you. It's phenomenal. And I think that's where we're seeing some of that happening here, because I know for a fact when I watch the board, Aisling is moving into the Petraeus' territory. And some of the attacks that are happening, one of the things that Aisling's been very successful going up against Petraeus. And yeah, that's where some of her stuff's come from. The other stuff's come because she's also got systems out on the edge where she's able to grab new colonized systems. And that's one of the reasons why Mahan has actually stayed ahead of her, is because he's out in the with all these colonized systems that you can just jump into. And
Right.
yeah, so I think patch 3's effect is having, yeah, it's certainly kicking Betrayus in the whatevers. So yes.
How's as a spectator and outside, because I haven't done my power play stuff for a little while, so I'm not invested very much at the moment.
Mm.
That sounds enormously fun. How's it going down with the kind of more serious power play communities? Because obviously, on the one hand, attacking and having a huge advantage is fun, but on the
Mhm.
other hand, obviously, if you've got places you want to defend and it's extremely hard to defend them, I don't know. On balance, is it
Well,
fun for power players?
guess what? If you're attacking, it's fun. If you're defending, it's not.
Yeah, and
Uh,
presumably you're doing both. So I just wonder
yeah,
how it.
I think as usual, because things have been taken away from the defending side of things. That's had people who just basically go around fortifying systems. They find that their gameplay is curtailed a bit.
Mm.
Which I mean, I do a bit of both. I do a bit of undermining. I do a bit of acquisition, bit of reinforcement, bit of ducking and diving. You know what I mean? And so I still get the same kind of good spread of activities, but I do know there are certain people that just say, "No, I'm just doing reinforcement," and they're not happy.
Well, I guess they just need to double their efforts, right?
Well, not double. Well, we'll find new ways of motivating them. No. So yes, it's interesting, and they're as Frontier have said, they're monitoring the situation and will make further adjustments as necessary. But I think the main complaint is that why did they have to take stuff away from power play, defending? Why didn't they keep power play defending as it was, and then slap um, raise the attacking thing to 40% instead of just 5? Because it's the same effect.
I see.
Uh, yeah, I think they're mostly annoyed that they're not earning as much as they used to, and that's the main complaint.
Fair enough.
So
I hadn't even
yeah.
thought of that. So these changes not only affect the big game of powers, but they affect your earnings
Oh
if you
no,
like.
no, it doesn't affect your actual earnings, but it does affect how many merits that you get.
Yeah, I meant merit earnings. Yeah,
All right,
that's
okay, fair enough then. Yeah, so that's the
Hmm.
that's the issue there, really. Okay, I guess it's that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your arts. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your
Excellent. And welcome back. We have one major new item in the store alert, which is quite apt considering of the CG. We've got the Python core mining jumpstart ship for 25,500 arcs. Yes, you get a Python specialized core mining layout, tuned thrusters and increased range FSD with SCO, reinforced shield generator, 12-piece shipcat, and the salvage white paint job. So yeah, if you haven't done mining before, you just want to jump in, this isn't. It's a good starting point. I mean, obviously, it's not as good as someone who's spent ages getting the usual stuff, but yeah, it's a good starting point, and because it's a Python Mark 1, once the CG is finished, you can swap it out and put other things into it because the Python is a good multi-role.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know specifically what the modules are in the specialized core mining loadout for this?
I don't.
S- So I have some questions which you may or may not be able to answer. So because it's been a while since I've done mining, and when I did do mining, I was quite into the blowing up the cores, whereas this time I'm going out for
The laser mining,
fast,
yeah.
fast
Yeah.
and lucrative laser mining is my hope. Am I right in thinking that I don't really need to go mad on the? Basically, I only need one prospector limpet, right?
Yes, you need one prospect. You've got a choice. You've got either the multi prospect,
Yeah,
the multi mining
yeah. I
limpet.
looked at that, but I didn't do that in the end. But go on.
And this is from my personal experience. I wouldn't recommend it.
I
Okay.
I
would.
would.
What I
I
figured
would.
is I want as many limpets as possible. So I went
Yep.
with I've got 6 collector limpets on what I've gone for so far.
Mhm.
2 lots of 3. Whereas the the kind of multi limpet thing I was looking at, I don't think I was going to get the same. I
Yeah.
don't know. Didn't seem to work out.
I
But
think
Um,
you
one of
recommend the
the.
multi, so
I think one of the multi. Now this is
now,
spurious, maybe not true information from Psychic, but I think one of them, depending on the size, one of the multi limpets actually has more limpets that can throw out. So what I've used is a multi limpet controller for collectors, and then I have a separate, like
ah,
dedicated prospector limpet. I think.
right, yeah, because
that's what Face Guy's saying in chat as well.
yeah,
And
because
Face Guy is probably infinitely more knowledgeable than me.
mm, uh,
Shay Blackwood's just said I'm not wrong. That's fine. I'm gonna hang up my hat there. Broken clock's right twice a day. We're good.
Okay, I might
yeah.
rethink my build before I take off tomorrow morning.
One thing that I would advise is not to have the multi limpet miner by itself, because this is the issue that I've had with it. Is it's because it shares the number of limpets.
Mhm.
So you fire off one prospector, that only gives you, and you fire off another prospector, that only leaves you with 2 collector limpets left. And I have had the occasion where I've pressed the wrong button and I've sent out 4 collection limpets and think, okay, move on to the next asteroid, but I've got nothing left to fire a prospector limpet. So you got 4 limpets going underneath you all the time, going, there's nothing to collect, and I can't go scan any more stuff. So what I normally do is I get into my fighter and I shoot my own limpets in order to be able to launch another prospector. But yeah, that's my only problem. I do
Right.
prefer to have a separate
Yeah.
prospector limpet rather than the multi.
And an A-rated prospector because you get a better yield or something. I've read. I think there's something, isn't there, that your prospector can get you a better yield from. I think.
I'll
And
have to
then
look into that, but I always
because
get an A
I always make sure
anyway.
it's an A. I like that memory of it that's drilled into me. Get an A prospect limpet every time.
and then if I'm going out for one particular thing, like in this instance, then I guess the refinery doesn't matter too much, does it? Because I can just ignore everything else and just I kind of almost only need one hopper, right? Or am I wrong in that thinking? I mean, I haven't.
Yeah, just
I've
one
got
hopper, like a size two hopper will
yeah,
do fine.
yeah,
Yeah. Just make sure you keep on
cool,
dumping what you don't want.
yeah, or ignoring. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I might go out tomorrow. That might be my fun time on my birthday. Will be core mining. Who is she?
I mean, you said
uh,
it was a big number. It's all making sense now.
It is. It is.
It's time
I'm
to get the pipe and the
reevaluating my
slippers out.
life.
I mean, I must admit, I've been doing quite a bit of laser mining. I haven't come across many asteroids I can actually blow up yet, I'll admit. And I'm in the middle of a pristine platinum hotspot, and I haven't found one. And it's getting a little frustrating because I do want a big rock to blow up. But yeah, don't feel too bad because I'm still making lots of money. In the big sale that was happening last week that we were discussing, that's all ended. The only thing that is on sale at the moment is the Felicia Winters and Yuri Grom Powerplay banners. You can get them for all 40% off. if you want to do your mining while having a flag out your back. So
Simp banners, 7,875 bucks. You can name a settlement for less, but by all means, show your simp banners on all of your ships.
I mean, you might as well just rename your settlement what you were mining
100%,
for.
absolutely.
Excellent. Right. I guess we're going to have to take an ad break.
Before I also went off and died.
Tasty, tasty cannibalism.
I'll be the least likely to die. He died first.
Yeah, I've never before discovered plants.
We here at the Lavian Centre of Dubious Science have had enough of those idiotic numbskulls polluting your airwaves with nonsensical utterations, mindless articulations, and downright vacuousness. Our premier linguistic experts, psychologists and scientists have collaborated for years to find the perfect antidote for such silliness, and are proud to present Professor Pebcap's Miracle Elixir. Our closely guarded recipe is designed to target the sensibility triggers nestled within the frontal lobe of the cerebrum and gently caress the cerebellum, meaning that clumsiness, terrible decision-making, lewd comments, and rare but fun rants are a thing of the past. Place one drop under the tongue when you wake up and one just before sleep, and settle into an elevated state of practicality that's more suited to the responsible commander. Professor Pebcap's Miracle Elixir. We've not tested it yet, but we're sure it'll do the job just fine.
Oi, how you doing, my brother? So you run some data and you left your little sidey and you're starting to think about maybe a ship that can punch a little bit harder. Well, the Killback, the one with the little flappy wings, is just what the doctor ordered. It is multi-crew enabled and is the smallest ship with a fighter bay, so you can point and they will do your bidding. Ha! It's got 3 utility mounts, 2 small and 2 medium hard points, plus a whole batch of compartments. So if you want a bit of fun, grab a Killback, my son.
Listen here, ladies. While your man is out and about bringing home the bacon, you need to make sure you look your best, which is why we present to you our Lady Shave. It's small enough to fit into your dainty lady hands and releases a perfumed scent as you cut away that ghastly body hair.
Listen here, ladies. Say no to substandard shaving. At Saracen, we believe a woman deserves a shave as good as a man's. Introducing the Panther Clipper. For women. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. And now, it's available in pink. A shave so smooth you'll need a tighter Dominator suit. The new Panther Clipper Lady Shave from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for. In pink.
Excellent. And welcome back.
In pink.
In pink. Yes.
We need a pink one. I need a pink Panther Clipper.
Pink Panther Clipper.
Get him.
Oh, dear. Yes, and you've got to call it the Lady Shave.
I might. Husband is bringing home the bacon.
I'm sorry, you seem to have regressed for 60 years. How to say it, Mrs. Chumley-Water? Anyway, right, moving on. Trailblazers Patch 3 came out, and there is one member of the crew who hasn't had a chance to look at it yet. So, Psychic, you've had a chance to look at the notes at least.
Yeah, I haven't played. Tomorrow will be my first time playing since this update dropped. But
Mhm.
I mean, you guys could talk about the update all you wanted last week, but you also hadn't played it until then until this week as well. Oh man, there's a lot, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
chunky old update.
I know. And the thing is, it's mostly back end stuff, really.
Mm,
So I think what's happened in the past is they've left place. They've had a basic calculation where the back end tells the front end, okay, this is how what it should
mhm.
be. This is what your economy should be. And while they've been listening us to all us complain, going, we don't know how this works, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth, they've actually been working on putting in some proper meat onto those bones, if you like. So, yeah. Um, the first question is, I guess that the kind of planet that you set up one of your big stations around actually has an effect on that
Mhm.
station, which is it's really good because
Makes sense.
yeah, you no longer these stations they're no longer big.
Bio waste factories.
Exactly. So yeah.
You know what's really funny about that, because it feels like from everything that I'm seeing.
Mhm.
Just to clarify again, haven't played yet, so and haven't really like fully delved into this hugely. But from everything that I'm seeing, it seems to work very similarly to the way that the Stellar Forges put systems in.
Mm.
Or like on face value, it's probably much more complicated than that, or it was random in the early days and now they're having to add some kind of like reasoning to it. But it makes sense for that main planet, because that the main planet normally where the um or that I've seen, it's more often than not that we get orbitals or big orbital bases around Earth-likes and things like that. So if we
Yeah,
can't put
yeah,
shit
that's
on that
true.
Earth-like, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
we can't do those things or make things happen on an Earth-like or a water world, or where those big main orbitals tend to gravitate towards, then it's going to be frustrating for us the player. And by when I say us the player, I mean just me and my personal experience playing the video game. I'm not going to want to do anything with that initial spot, which is kind of what I did with
Mm.
like some of my systems. I went, okay, that's in now, that's an asteroid base, there's nothing I can do here, so I'm going to move to this other one where I know I can put stuff on the planet, and I know I can make an asteroid base there, and or another asteroid base in this icy ring, and it's going to look really cool, and they're all going to bounce off each other. This is really clever. The what they're doing and what they've showed us,
Yes.
and their explanation to us. It seems real complicated.
To tell you
Yeah,
the truth, I think it needs to be complicated
Mhm.
because Elite is a game that deserves complicated mechanics. Otherwise, I mean, what we had before was rather. I think everybody was taken aback by how simplistic it
way too
was.
simplistic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, now that we've got these strong links and weak
Yeah.
links, it kind of makes sense. I think what they did was they took what they had with the Stellar Forge and then worked out or worked back what what was the Stellar Forge did and how to improve it for the players, because w-
To give
there's
us
no
more
comparison
control.
between the
Yeah.
two. A Stellar Forge created system doesn't follow the same rules
Yeah.
as basically a player colonized
Mhm.
system.
And I think also maybe how to explain it. Like Stellar Forge doesn't have to be explainable because it's
Yeah.
not something that the players play. So it can be as complicated as you like, and nobody has to really be able to explain it to anybody. But
Mm.
obviously, a system like this, at the end of the day, players kind of need to have a sense of how it works. And so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Chris hasn't because he's also not been doing a lot of. Oh, he might have done some. Have you got on with? Have you done any more colonizing since the updates dropped, or have you been like balls deep in your mining?
So I have, and but so the thing with mine is I never did it with the economy in mind in the first place. I'm all about where things are and what they look like, and can I build
Mhm.
around them. So in
Yeah.
that regard, I have no expertise to offer, but I did I did notice a couple of things immediately, or really soon after the patch. One is that even though I don't care about it very much, I did notice that my outpost was selling way more interesting things than it was like a few weeks ago. Like
Yeah.
it had all sorts of interesting things for sale rather than just fire waste and I don't know something. And the other thing I've really noticed is that when I am sourcing materials for my build, something like Inara or in my case ED Copilot is often sending me now to play a colonized system.
Yeah.
Go and get my stuff. Like the systems that players have built are now full of the stuff that I need to build my system, which is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And also, wow, some players have built some incredible stuff. Like, and you can even in somebody else's system, you can go to local news, and so you can see how many players are involved. I've been to a couple of systems that have got like 2 asteroid bases and a Coriolis with all the noob hammers and 5 planetary settlements, and you sort of think, bloody hell, how many players are involved in building this system? And it turns out to be one person.
Wow.
Some
That,
players,
that is serious dedication and
yeah,
some very busy Imperial Clippers.
yeah.
Cutters, rather. So, yeah.
That's really cool. That's
But yeah,
really cool.
things are definitely much more interesting.
I know in my neck
Economy-wise.
of I know in my neck of the woods, even before this update, when I was still colonizing, like Chris's system isn't super far away from mine. Isn't that far away from mine at all. And the city of Graham's has got almost everything I could possibly need to build anything in my system now. Is that right?
It should do, apart from, I was going to say fruit and veg, but I think it has that as well. I
Wild.
need to check. But yeah, the thing that's made it make more is the population boom. Because at most it used to produce like 1,000 of something or 800 of like steel. Now it's producing hundreds and thousands of steel, and it's producing more refinery stuff because I think they reverted the planet dominating the economy, and now it looks like it's the strong links doing it, and because it has Very Vista, I think, right beside it, which is my refinery, I have like a strong refinery extraction economy.
That's cool.
Yeah. At the moment, I got a bit of a surprise because I've got a farm, the alpaca farm.
Feels
Just-
like you spent hours on that, Colin, just to remind you.
Yeah, it's got a weak link to my main industrial outpost, and I was quite surprised to actually find fruit and veg in that industrial outpost. Going, wow, those alpacas are being weird, but
In the fruity.
obviously reject alpaca food. Yeah, so it was just a nice surprise to see a sort of a kind of split economy rather than pure
Yeah.
industrial. And obviously that's come in since patch 3 dropped.
I must
go back
and
to
check it out. Yeah.
yeah. I must go back to my space farm actually. You mentioning yours, Colin, because mine space farms the construction platform was the one that was moving at 450 meters a second, so I couldn't land on it. But that was one of the known issues in the patch, and I'm never quite sure what the status of a known issue is in the sense that when is it a known and fixed issue? I suppose my hope is that they will announce it if they fix it.
Yeah, I mean, if they say that they've noted that they say it's a known issue, it means they're looking at it. I would have thought.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
as a software developer, if I put my patch note it's a known issue, it means it's high on the priority for the next patch.
Okay.
Working on it.
But
I'm working on it.
that's me personally as a developer. I don't know if Frontier do the same thing, but it gives me the impression that it is.
I feel like the bit on the end where it says, thank you to everyone who has reported instances of those to help with our investigation. It's kind of like, hey, we know this is a thing. We've got fucking loads of them now. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
we'll find a way. We'll find a way to
fix this
fix
for
it.
you. Yeah.
How's the stuttering been for everyone?
I don't know. I'm so excited.
Haven't had a thing.
Oh, wow.
Although I must admit, I've had a lot more drops out of the game lately, which has taken me by surprise. I think that's down to Virgin Media, because Virgin Media has started putting up little amber alerts about my broadband at the moment. So that's what I'm putting it down to. But when I do get a good session, I've been dreading the 5-pass stutter, and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we've been conditioned to flinch every time we look at the clock and it's 5 past, and now it doesn't happen.
No, normally it was 5 past, 25 past, and about 5:02. Those were the main stutters. Well, that's when I had my main stutters, and this time through, not a thing.
I am glad that Terakov has reminded me that there are some things still that yes, I too am still getting some very long jump times, some very long jump times.
Right.
And the other thing that happened to me today, and I don't know if it's just my computer was doing something in the background or whether it's related to Elite Dangerous or not, but I had it must have been about a 2 or 3 minute period of what I kind of want to almost call micro stutters. It's almost like, when you re-encode a video with the frame rate a bit too low and you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's not smooth. It's like you're almost aware of. So it's not like random stutters, but it's a consistently, almost like a consistently poor frame rate. And it's weird because I was in space at the time. I was just doing deliveries to an Orbis or something. My frame rate, as reported in the little control F pop up, was 144 frames a second, but something was off. And yes, as Wintermute says, I thought it was just me. I thought maybe my computer was doing a backup, or but then somebody in Discord this morning said they'd had it too. So there's something else.
What's
going
that?
on.
Sorry, repeat that for me.
Well, it's like
Explain what you had.
it's like a prolonged period of little micro stutters, like a juddering.
Okay.
And it's not kind of on the 5-minute mark, or it's just happening, and it's CPU bound because my graphics are happily grinding along at 144 frames a second, but something is, juddering is a good word for it.
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't actually happened to me, but like Terakov has been saying, I've been getting the long jump tunnels. That seems to have got worse since patch 3, and normally the way that I do this is that when you are stuck in a Brabin tunnel, you can actually, there's a sound that I hear that kind of signifies the end of the loop where it starts again.
Yes.
And if you hear that 4 times, you know that the next one, that's it, it's going to be a crate mauve adder or whatever crate error, magenta crate or something, and that's it. You know that it can't talk to the matchmaking server. It's weird. It's like the matchmaking server's not listening. So, but no stutters.
But yeah, on the whole, way better.
That's good.
Much better.
That's good.
So, incidentally, Psychic, have you had a chance to have a look at maybe painting your station a different color?
I've looked at the paints. I've looked at the paints. I think it's very cool that they've come in. I haven't. Again, I'm kind of remiss to wanting to spend arcs on it at the moment. I will add a caveat with that. I will add a very, very pink or purple coloured caveat on top of that, and saying that the moment that happens, Frontier can shut up and take my money, and I will. There will be pink Coriolisuses as far as the eye can see, but until such time happens, they look cool. They look cool, and I don't begrudge anybody wanting to spend arcs on doing it. I'm certainly like, with all of this shit, I take the piss because I love.
I must admit, yeah, when I saw them, I thought, right, okay, I quite like the reds. I really can't stand the greens, but the copper grey ones, I'm actually tempted. If I ever am able to create an Orbis, I think, the copper grey on that one, I would probably.
Yeah, that's where I am too. I love them, but am I ever going to create the thing that it goes on?
Yeah,
there are colours for outposts as well, aren't there? I'm trying to decide whether to colour my outposts or not. It's not very well lit, my outpost, so I'm not sure it would benefit.
But then again,
if
they offer arcs for moving ambient lighting about,
yes, please.
Hey, yes, please. Yeah, there's a couple of very, very pretty. I don't hate the green. I don't hate any of them. I would personally spend arcs on these? Probably not. But I don't think they're terrible, and I think it's. Do I think it? Why are they priced differently then? That's weird.
You know, like some Coriolis stations and similar have interior floodlights that sort of sweep around. Can you imagine colours on those? I want to turn my Coriolis into a Pink Floyd concert or something.
Yeah, 100%. Like, especially on one of the the really industrial ones.
Yeah.
With all the like turn it into a proper cyberpunk looking. Oh yeah, man. I'm just looking at this, looking at the Corioluses, and I know you might have covered this last week. But why is the tactical green 2,000 arcs more than the red? Why is the clinical yellow 2,000 arcs more than the red?
I didn't even notice that.
Why is the copper and grey? Copper and grey is 2 colours.
Yeah.
So that's but that's 7,000 arcs more than the Coriolis red. And from what I can see, the tactical yellow and the tactical green and the clinical yellow have painted less of the starport, and they're charging you 2,000 more arcs for it. Is that in painter's tape?
They're charging you for the gaffer tape.
They're charging you for the painter's tape. I'm done today.
For the red one, they're just there with a spray can and they can just do the whole thing. But no, they've got to use
the stencils. I'm sorry, love. We've got to use the stencils on the other one.
That's it. It's all down to the paneling, love. It's all down to the paneling.
It's the industrial strength stencils that we're using. I'm really sorry. It costs another $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're nice though.
They are very nice, and
Has anyone seen any in their travels yet?
Not yet. No,
me neither.
I haven't logged in.
I'm half expecting to see a whole load of noob hammer ones in red, just to match the blood that's the blood stains of the noobs that they've hammered. But
tell you what, I am bloody sick of seeing noob hammers every single damn colonization. I wish they'd made those noob hammers about 10 times more expensive. Because everybody has obviously picked, I'll have noob hammers on my Coriolis. And they're common as muck now.
And they're supposed to actually have these kind of things for asteroid bases as well, but I don't think they've put them in yet. So
I don't know how they'd colour how much you'd be able to charge to colour just like that tiny little rim around the asteroid base. Because you're not painting the asteroid, are you?
Is it me, or is yellow ice going to be a bit dodgy?
I gotta rename it.
Don't eat the yellow ice asteroid base. No.
Wait, I've
No.
got a question. Has
Mhm.
anybody found a colonized system which has the fancy pants stations in it? You know, with like the trees and statues and all that stuff.
The tourism one.
Yeah, it's tourism, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wonder if anyone's seen.
I mean,
if you can even make one.
probably could. I could probably make one in my first system. I don't really want to. Like, it's just moving all of those materials. I might
Yeah.
actually be able to do it in from my system to my system now. I don't know how well it's creating the goods that I require, but it might be.
What you'd have to do is you'd have to have a couple of tourism facilities on the planet, and maybe another tourism thing around
Yeah,
the.
one of my stations, one of my systems has that. It's got like 2 tourism bases
Mhm.
on one planet, and I think like an agriculture on that planet as well.
Oh,
So
well,
maybe it
if you
might
put
do it.
something, yeah, if you put something in orbit round there, chances are you'll end up with an agricultural tourism place.
I'll just plot it down and see what happens. It might get built. It might not. I'll just put down the order.
Send out something to your minions. Get it done. Get it done, minions.
Look. If it happens, it happens. I'm in no rush anymore.
Excellent. Right. Well, I think we kind of covered all that stuff off. I'm actually quite impressed with patch 3 so far. But then again, I haven't gone really deep diving into the economic side of things yet. But as far as the power play stuff's concerned, I'm really enjoying it because, like I said, I do like like some attacking. So I like what they've done with that. So overall, I'm quite impressed playing patch 3. Zyka, are you feeling good about what they've put in? Does it make you feel more confident about the game?
I mean, I just wanted. You know what? The patch notes dropped in on Friday, didn't they? They gave us the patch notes. It was a Friday of PitCon, and I remember opening it, scrolling down, just on my phone, just after a good couple of pints, scrolling down, and getting to the bit where they said that they fixed the stuttering, and I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. But I told every person that I was sat with that they've done it, and I was like, literally, if this patch just does that and just manages that, I will be the happiest person on the planet. And the fact that they've given us this big how to fully manipulate your system in the way that you want it to be is really cool.
Yeah, we just have to call out Galnet News yet again, because what Pete and Drew did last week was actually, it managed to condense our inane ramblings down to proper 10 minutes of actually this is how it works with infographics.
Yeah, I'll second that. Yeah, anyone who's still struggling to understand how the new economic system works, just listen to last week's Gallant News Digest.
Yeah, superb work from Pete and Jude there, and we can't recommend it enough. So I wish that sometimes I could be that articulate. Anyway, right. I guess we'll move on to the question. So,
question of the week's back because I'm back and it's what I do. So it was obviously a question about the Panther Clipper, because why would it not be? For those wondering where we're reading this from, every Sunday on or around at some point between 12 and 2, which coincidentally is the same time that you can ask your home listening device to play Black Diamond FM, and it will play the Chris Mott 4 on the radio, and he does a very good job. He's very funny. You should listen to him because it's good stuff, and he's not even here, and I'm still telling you that. And that's what I mean by how good it is. Yeah, listen to that. So our question of the week goes out on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and in Discord, because those are the only ones I have access to, and I'm not getting any more. So do look for it on a Sunday, and we will be there. Our question of the week this week was, will the Panther Clipper be a day one purchase for you? And what would be your ideal setup for it? And we start with Epsilon Orbital, who says, I really want to get it, but I never haul anything that a T8 can't cover effectively. I also don't want it to be my first big freighter, so if I'm going to get it, I'll have to use a T9 to get used to the heft of such a ship. When I eventually get into colonization, I'll pick one up.
Excellent.
Around 237 says, not really a hauler unless I have to. It'll be fun to muck around with, but will be interesting to see how well it handles in combat.
Like a shoe, Aaron, like a shoe, mate.
I'm still hoping it's going to be an impregnable brick.
I mean, I'm wondering. I was thinking like an anvil. I mean, it'd be nice. It might be good at ramming if you can catch anyone.
I mean, it might be good at ramming, but that's also, if it's good at ramming, it's also really difficult to stop. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I have an ALC. I'll be buying it. Not that it's going to be my favourite ship ever, but it looks like it will help with colonization. Plus, I will be buying it Sport Frontier since they are focusing on improving the game.
They'll do that anyway without your money. It's fine.
Right, I've got Alato 79. I'm hoping that I've got that right. Buying it. I certainly understand everyone's excited for the PC too. I'm just concerned that it'll be more lumbering than the T9. Yes, it will. Which is a brick when it comes to flight characteristics versus the cutter. It comes down to time times cargo time divided by trips, which is true.
Absolutely, yeah.
The loop of shame is going to be huge.
There is a slight factorial of that, which is time times cargo divided by ships, also in brackets on the side, SEO. Do you know what I mean?
And I'd stick a kind of plus fun question mark.
SEO plus fun question mark. Yeah.
Because there comes a time where I genuinely rather do 5 trips in a Type 8 than 2 trips in a cutter.
100% agree.
Because I just enjoy it more. Yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Fishtails USA says, definitely getting one. It will be set up with engineered SCO FFD, no scoop, since it will live primarily on my carrier, shield or no shield. I'll have to see how much of a pirate magnet it is.
That is a point, because when you start seeing big fat Panther Clippers coming through your system, and you might be a bit of a ne'er-do-well, then
all that tasty cargo.
Yes, their kids might eat tonight.
Phil Blackwell says, definitely day one purchase. Very available internal will be dedicated to cargo, with consideration to the most minimal of shields. That frameshift boost getting off pesky planet ports is going to be wonderful in a big one. Yeah, because it will of course have Super Cruise overcharge, I suppose, which we haven't.
Yeah, I heard they've not
I mean,
have they confirmed that? Did they confirm that on?
I mean, any ship can have Super Cruise overcharge, but it's
Yes.
I imagine
the
it would have
stability.
the stability. No, they haven't confirmed it actually.
No, but then
I wonder if it will.
If you've got SCO on a Type 9, my God, it can be difficult.
I wonder whether it will. Because there are some sacrifices that we will have to make for it.
I've got one from Beetlejude. I will have all the cargo on my vessel. There will be steel and robotics and fruit and water and resonating separators under my chair and a muon imager in my lap.
Nice.
Lovely. I have Nicey. Will I get it? Don't know yet. Not really a fan of the slow lumbering ships. Obviously, if I do get it, stuff it full of cargo racks and haul a metric butt ton of stuff for colonization. Also, it totally looks like a frog.
It does.
Brackets looking at you, loose screws. I didn't get that until one of the photos came up, and yeah, from the back, from the top and behind you. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Did you hear loose screws and the boost sound?
What, it's gonna sound like Kermit, is it?
So they had an exclusive on the Panther Clipper boost sound, and it was like.
I want it to sound like a lady shave. That's my dream.
Well, if that's the case, I'll buy Jane Tracks a green skin just for that.
If it's a green skin, it will look like Thunderbird 2.
Actually, yeah, not bad that.
Yeah, I've just had I'll share it with you later, but I've just seen one. I've seen one that's been mocked up already as Thunderbird 2, and it looks pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of people who put a lot of money into this game, LCU No Fool Like One says, I shall be getting at least 6 on day 1.
And then singing about it.
Probably. I thought that was a good impression. I thought that was a new impression for me.
Excellent. Oh, so it's me, Homburger, Commander Homburger, of aforementioned blog writer, says, I am going to paint mine green and call it Thunderbird 2.
There you go.
If I time it just right, my carrier will be at Beagle Point, to which will allow me to land T2 there on day 1. I know it's cheating, but why not?
Lovely.
Okay, I have one from actual genuine Elvis Kremen. 100% a day 1 purchase for me. Going to fit all cargo racks and drain stations of all the things. Can't heckin' wait. 7.
They're really enjoying it. It's very positive. This we got Silas Resi.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm holding off on my colonization efforts until I can get my hands on one. Not sure what will become of my Type 9 though. Just hoping the Panther Mark II is as headbutt resistant as the original. Well, it's got that big Battlestar Galactica type head. Just fine for bouncing an eagle off.
There's a very old clip. There's a very, very old clip on my channel where I've boosted into the back of my fleet carrier in a clipper, and it's got no shields on it at all. And I wasn't me. Can you imagine me not paying attention? But I'm like, oh no, and I had like a full amount of gear and shit in it. Like I was bringing it to my carrier and like one of the only times I've ever used my carrier as like a transport thing, and I hit the back of my carrier and just explode. I hope that doesn't happen in a Panther Clipper. That's my hope.
I wonder.
I will never financially recover from this.
So the massive hydraulics on the thrusters. I wonder if you can like use those like nutcrackers. If you could get a sidewinder caught and just deploy your gear and kind of crunch it in the mechanics of the thruster.
If you could do that to Addis, I'd be over the moon.
There's a video.
Oh my god, it's gonna be nonsense. It's gonna be such nonsense. Finn McRaven says, day 1 purchase for me, as have all the other ships, despite not using them all much. Cough Mandalay, cough Corsair, cough Mandalay, how dare you? But what would really sell it is a comfortable haulage amount of above 1,000 tons after outfitting for other things like shields and an FSD booster, etc. Fair enough.
Sorry, I was writing in chat. I have Alexa who says, day 1. This is the first new ship that I haven't felt is a must buy, unless it comes in pink, so I can call it Cluso.
Amazing.
Very good.
Amazing.
And then if it's got a ship launch fighter, you can call that Kato. No? All right, just me.
Yeah, I'm lost, mate.
I got it, but I think so.
Definitely didn't get it.
Okay, I have one from Commander Alan Crow. It'll depend on whether I'm near a spaceport that has it. at least this time around it'll be possible to fly it without a crew. I better remember buying one and spending weeks in game trying to build a crew in front of your first encounters just to get the thing off the ground.
Oh, I remember that.
Well-
You see, the thing in the old game, you had to have a minimum number of crew members. That would cost you money to hire, and in some systems, you had to hire them off the message board.
Right.
And it took ages for the message board to rotate round until new crew would come, and you need something like 20 people to fly that ship with you.
Oh my god, really?
Because you were the captain and you had to hire about 19 other crew members and pay them in order to fly the ship. And yeah, I get what Alan is saying there, because if you did get one, the main problem was actually getting the crew to still fly it. And the amount of times I was there going, it was one of those moments where you just went, I'm going to walk away from this if I don't get another crew member within the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, come on, you've got to come on, I've 5 more minutes, honest. And you'd be advancing the time accelerator constantly. It was very frustrating, and I'm glad they've left it behind.
Although if he does get it for arcs, any spaceport that'll have a large pad will be able to get at it, won't he? When you buy it for arcs. So, there you go. So, as long as you're near a spaceport that has a large pad, you get it for arcs, you can get it. Or ground base, I guess.
Or your own fleet carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can fly it from day one. Oh, good. Rennie. I am so sorry. Day one for sure. I'm going to cram it full of lots of cargo. That's what it's there for.
Nice. Commander Schnails says, I really want to know more. I think I want one. I loved it back in my days of playing Frontier, but it needs to be big. I did some dodgy science. I took the maximum possible dimensions based on longest, widest, highest metrics of existing ships to give me a possible size, and divided it by the cubic size of the Type 9 divided maximum carry weight. Based on that, it could have space for 2,000 cargo units. If it was that, I'm definitely buying one.
Yeah, it has the potential to hold that much.
I hope so.
Yeah, so I think it'll be between 1,000 and 2,000 for your cargo units.
I mean, you can tell it's dodgy science because it didn't have a banana for scale.
I'm putting my money on 1,200 cargo units.
Oh, we should do that.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll do that. We'll do that when there's more of us here. We'll do that next week.
Right. Yeah, we'll wait until everyone's back.
Right, Commander Stig's cousin. It's got to beat the T9 for being a chunky hauler. Hopefully it's hard to interdict, or it's got lots of room for turrets. I don't know about a day one purchase, but it's high on the list if the price is good.
Yeah, you're still going to have to, if you're not going to buy it for arcs, then it is going to be a case of waiting 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 4, because I think
At least. Who knows?
Yeah. Because the Cobra Mark V, I think that was 4 months, but yeah.
We no longer know the algorithm.
It's fine.
It's about 3 or 4 months-ish.
It's whatever they decide. Really.
Okay, I've got Cheb's Will. We're just starting out on a long expedition. If back, we'll probably get it, but if not, still in the black. I hope it has lots and lots of size 8 internals for that cargo. If it's got enough hard points and utility, it could be a good blockade runner. You're not mass locking it with your cute little Imperial cutter.
Cute little Imperial cutter. I love that.
As long as they don't miss a 1 off the front of its mass lock number.
What you mean, like, the cost?
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
the Panther Clipper could be the most expensive ship?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's going to be... I wonder how much it'll be then.
Yes,
Like,
probably. Yes, probably.
yeah, because
Interesting. I
it's
hadn't
first
thought of that.
large.
Yeah, I think if this ever got when it gets released to credits, there's another thing we can do. We can do.
Yeah, we'll do 2. We'll do 2. We'll definitely do 2. It'll
How
be
much
fun.
cargo? How much will it cost?
How
in
much cargo?
credits?
How much will it cost? And we might make that a question of the week as well and do it with everyone.
Oh, we're gonna have some
There
fun
won't be.
ones with that one.
Oh, I might see if Frontier can give us a price. Let's find out.
Right, I have DJ Wiley. Of course, it will be a day one purchase. I remember they featured the Panther in one of the early newsletters around launch. Been eagerly awaiting it since. Best internal layout, max cargo. I just hope it doesn't make the likes of the T9 obsolete. I'm sorry, but I think it will. But so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well that was that, but I thought we've got a little bit of time very quickly. Hey folks. Hey folks, let's start with Alec. Will it be a day one purchase for you? And if so, what are you planning on doing with it and what you're hoping for the internals?
I have written day one purchase for sure. I'm hoping it will be fun for colonization hauling, and I will roll one down the side of a crater, dwarf settlements by parking next to them in screenshots, and I will try crunching SRVs in its massive hydronic elbows.
Hydraulic elbows. Very, very nice, very nice. Chris?
It depends. It depends how much more cargo space it has in a T9. I'd want it to have, or like more cargo space than the biggest current cargo. I'd expect it to have at least 300, 400 over that.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't, then I probably won't.
Okay. Fair enough. Colin?
I will be racking. It's definitely a day one purchase for me. I will be putting it to good work with the colonization stuff that I've got. But I am also interested in trying it for a full player crew. So I'll be looking for volunteers. see how it holds up, and we'll take it into a danger zone and see what happens.
We don't know if it's got a ship launch fighter even, do we?
Oh, one of the bottom underneath shots looked like it had space for one.
Okay.
Yes. I thought I saw a ship launch fighter bay. So I'm hoping that it will be a bigger one. That because I know that they only limit the fighter bay to you're only allowed one fighter bay at once, and the maximum you can have is 2 fighters in it.
Right.
If there is one which is a 3 fighter bay, so you can have 3 players flying fighters while you're flying the big ship, I think that would be a good one. But
Do you know, it'd be funny. It'd be funny if it had a ship launched chieftain, like a little baby coming out the bottom.
Little baby. Oh, it's breaching. Oh my god. For me, yeah, 100%. I want it so bad. I think it's going to be really fun. I think when I say fun, I think I'm going to be terrible at it, and I'm so excited.
I want to see all the accident reports of people trying to dock it with
Oh
a
my
docking
god.
computer.
It's gonna be. I want to see people trying to fly at FA off, not me, but other people. But oh man, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, I've just thought of a seriously hard challenge. I assume will be like the male slot flip.
Oof. Oh, I think it's going to be fun. I hope it is as difficult and as cumbersome to fly as I want it to be. Of course, I will just be chucking every slot will have cargo. And yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yes. So I think we can all say thumbs up.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a bad thing yet. Well, there's some people that are going, maybe, but
I'm
the vast
waggly
majority
side thumb.
yes.
Waggly side thumb.
Yeah, waggly side
That's the
thumb.
one. Excellent. Now, does anybody have any other business?
Hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything special very much, but I am streaming tomorrow, and it is my 40th birthday, and I'd love if you popped along and said hello. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just going to play Elite, but it'd be nice to say hi. I spent the last day of my 30s with these fuckers, so if you wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
offering me your commiserations.
Thank you, I guess.
You're welcome.
Right, okay then. Shout outs. Our sister station, Hut and Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hut and Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. And we're also giving shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So that's the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. We have the Loose Screws, who ruined the Panther Clipper for me by calling it a frog. But if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
there is the Elite Dangerous podcast, and they also have a website which has got these wonderful missions on it as well, which we recommend. Following this, we have the latest Gallant News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd just like to thank all those who's chipped in on the Twitch chat. And Chris, have you had many in-game commanders?
He's not been back on.
Ah, well,
since
yes.
Before because it all went wrong.
Yeah, there was no one there while my computer was happy streaming and running Elite at the same time. So sorry if I missed anyone, but, you know, the blue screen of death comes for us all eventually.
And of course, special thanks to Commander Tokuso. Please buy his album. JN Tracks and Alan Stroud, who have created the music that we use in this show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us in the contact links at home/contact us menus of the laveradio.com website. Let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. I had a bit of a frog in my throat there. Or it could be a Panther Clipper. You never know. Right. Well, thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
Thanks to Claire.
Thanks. Bye.
And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist, the Chris Mark V.
You're welcome.
So, until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word. Space can be loaded. I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 6th of May, 3311. Mined Platinum is selling for 440,000 credits per tonne in the LP855-34 system, and it's supporters of President Winters that seem to be taking best advantage. Winters and Yuri Grom are locked in a struggle to gain control of the system by mining platinum. This sounds like a very odd sort of duel, but it's explained by the system having a sudden and insatiable demand for the precious metal. Both Winters and Grom hope that the citizens will pledge undying allegiance to whichever power delivers the most. And the locals are certainly willing to pay. They started by offering 4 times the galactic average, but they've doubled that already generous price and are now offering 440,000 credits per ton. In addition to the money they make selling the platinum, everyone who takes part will be awarded a fully engineered long-range 1D abrasion blaster. As President Winters seems to be far ahead of Grom, with little hope of the dictator catching up, those supporting the president will earn a second abrasion blaster, and participants pledged to Winters will be awarded 40,000 merits in appreciation of their loyalty and hard work. And they'll also be gifted a Felicia Winters Power Play Banner bobblehead. The initiative runs until the 15th of May, so there's plenty of time to cash in. Whichever side you mind for, don't forget to sign up first. The 2 megaships for the Grom and Winters powers are close to Planet 1 of the LP855-34 system. They do not show up in the system map, so you need to look for them in your contacts panel. Grom's ship is the Undeniable, while the almost certainly victorious Winters ship is the Rhea's Resilience.